I hold my MSc in biotechnology. I come from Muzaffarnagar, Uttar Pradesh. Over the past 3 years, I have been actually engaged in teaching through home tuitions and at a nearby coaching center. Today, we are going to learn about gametogenesis and fertilization. Gametogenesis, the process by which sex cells and gametes are formed, and fertilization. The fusion of male and female gametes. So let's break it down into simple words. Today we are going to learn about these topics in detail, that is spermatogenesis, sperm, oogenesis, ovum, fertilization, and implantation. So firstly we will going to learn about the spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the process by which sperm cells are formed by spermatogonia, the male germ cell. Spermatogonia, the male germ cell, which is diploid in nature, that means they have 46 chromosomes. Spermatogonia present in the testes. In testes, males have a special characteristic cell called seminiferous tubule. So here the spermatogenesis start. It start at puberty. So to remember this word, here is a trick to recall. The first alphabet of both of these letters start with T. Now imagine this is the spermatogonia. Which is diploid. Spermatogonia start multiply itself by the mitosis and form primary spermatocyte. This primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis 1 and form haploid cell called secondary spermatocyte. So this is haploid in nature, that means they have only 23 chromosomes. Now this secondary spermatocyte, it will undergo meiosis second and form spermatids. Now these spermatids mature and transform itself into spermatozoa or sperm. The process by which spermatids transform itself into spermatozoa called spermiogenesis. Now the transformation involves reshaping and formation of a tail. Now these mature sperms are ready to fertilize an egg, so they release from the seminiferous tubule by the process called spermiation. Now we have already learned how to sperm cell are formed. So how a sperm cell look like? Imagine a tadpole with a tiny head and a long tail. That's a sperm cell look. Sperm cell has a three major part. The first one is head and the middle piece and the tail. Head contains a nucleus in the center which contain all the genetic material. The anterior portion of the head contain a cap-like structure called acrosome, which contain various type of enzyme that help to the penetration of sperm with the ovum. The middle piece contain numerous mitochondria which produce energy for mobility. During coitus, human male ejaculate around 200 to 300 million of sperm. If one lucky sperm successfully penetrate the egg, the fertilization occurs. Now let's talk about the oogenesis. So similarly, oogenesis is the process by which mature egg cells are formed by oogonia. During embryonic development, millions of oogonia formed in each ovary, and no more oogonia added after the birth. So oogonia also diploid in nature. That means they have 46 chromosomes. So oogenesis start at the fetal life. Let's assume this is the oogonia. It start multiply itself by the mitosis and form primary oocyte. Now these primary oocyte get arrested at the prophase 1 of meiosis 1. At prophase 1 of meiosis 1. These all the steps are happened during fetal life. After birth, when the puberty hit, when the puberty hit, this primary oocyte, each month during menstruation cycle, this primary oocyte complete its meiosis 1 and release from the ovary by the process called ovulation and form secondary oocyte and first polar body. Reproductive phase. Now this secondary oocyte again get arrested at the metaphase second of meiosis second and complete it only if the sperm fuse with it. Let's talk about the structure of a ovum. So ovum is the largest cell of a female human body. It contains the outer layer called zona pellucida. Beyond the zona pellucida, there is a thick cellular layer present which named as corona radiata. The center contains the nucleus which contains all the genetic material. Okay. So this is the structure of a ovum. We have already discussed about the structure of a sperm and the ovum. When the nucleus of the ovum fuse with the nucleus of the sperm cell, then the fertilization occurs. So let's discuss about the fertilization now. So fertilization, as I told you, is a fusion of ovum and the sperm cell. During copulation, semen is released by the penis into the vagina by the process called insemination. So fertilization occurs in the ampullary stomach junction. Now, what is the ampullary stomach junction? For this, we have to know about the female reproductive tract. So, this is the female reproductive tract. These are the ovaries. These are the finger-like structure which hold the ovary called fimbriae. So this is the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube has three parts. This is infundibulum, ampulla, and isthmus. So this is the ampullary stomach junction where fertilization. For the better understanding, let's assume this is the ovum cell. Ovum cell contain its own genetic material. Let's assume the blue liquid is its genetic material, but it is not in a proper way. Just assume that the ovum cell contain its nucleus and the nucleus contain the genetic material. And this is the sperm cell which contain its own genetic material. Right now, assume that the black liquid is the sperm genetic material. When the acrosome of the sperm cell comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum, then the fertilization occurs. Now, acrosome, with the help of acrosome, sperm release its own genetic material into the cytoplasm of the ovum, and a single cell structure formed called zygote. So, when both the genetic materials combine, then a single cell structure formed called zygote. So, for better understanding, in books we have diagrams like this. This is the sperm cell, this is the acrosome of the sperm, and this is the zona pellucida layer of the ovum. The acrosome comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer and release its genetic material, and a single cell structure formed after the fertilization. Then zygote start multiplying itself by mitosis and the process called cleavage. By the cleavage, 2, 4, 8 and 16 total cells formed, and these structure called blastomere. Two cell, 4 cell, 8 and 16. These structures called blastomere. Blastomere has a special characteristic feature, that is, the cell only increase in their size. It will not only increase in their number, it will not increase in their size. Now, the 16 cell structure called of blastomere called morula. Now, morula transform itself into blastocyst. This blastocyst implant itself into the uterine cavity or inner lining of the uterus. When the zygote dividing itself into the blastomere stage, then the zygote moves towards the fallopian tube into the uterus. And when the blastocyst form, blastocyst implant itself into the uterine wall. Let's understand this from here. Then the zygote start cleavage and the morula structure formed. Morula transform itself into blastocyst, and blastocyst implant itself into the uterine wall. So, uterine has 3 layers, and the inner lining of the uterine wall called endometrium. So, this is called endometrium. So, when the implantation happen, it start developing itself from here, and the pregnancy, it leads to the pregnancy. Now let's sum it up all of these and see the conclusion. Firstly, we have discussed about the gametogenesis, the process by which gametes and sex cells are formed. In gametogenesis, we have discussed about the spermatogenesis, the process by which sperm cells are formed by spermatogonia, which is present inside the seminiferous tubule of the testis. So the sperm has, so this is the structure of a sperm which has the head, middle piece and the tail. The chromosome of the sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum. The oogenesis is the process by which cells are formed by oogonia, which is present in the ovary. So ovum, when both of the genetic material fuse with each other, the sperm and the ovum genetic material, then the fertilization happen. So fertilization is the basically is the fusion of male and female gametes. And when the blastocyst implant itself into the inner uterine wall, the endometrium, then the implantation happen. All of these together leads to the formation of a new life and leads to the pregnancy. Now in next class we will discuss about the topic pregnancy and the embryonic development. Thank you for today.